Hey folks, we are back again. I am about ready to send a video cassette to my friend Jonathan, but before I did or do, I wanted to do a quick review of it. I picked this movie up yesterday at the Hope Chest on Pacific Avenue in Stockton, 1983, July of 1983 release, Space Raiders. This is a clamshell box, much like the Disney boxes that you see. Warner Brothers Home Video. Love the art here. I wish they still did movie box designs like this where it gives a really good synopsis on the back. It lets you know right there that it's a science fiction movie. This is what you would call a definitively B movie. Directed by Howard R. Cohen. This movie has an 84-minute runtime. And interestingly enough, Howard Cohen was a frequent writing collaborator with the producer of this film. And once I realized that this was produced by Roger Coreman, I enjoyed the movie much more than I would have otherwise. So basically, this movie was panned by critics. It is definitively a Roger Corman production. He had sold his production company, and under the contract, he was required to do 5 films for the company that bought his production company, and this is one of those movies. Playing off of the Star Wars fame at the time. I think Return of the Jedi came out a year before this movie, if I'm not mistaken. It's so bad that it's okay. There was no production cost for this movie. It was panned by critics. This is an early James Horner soundtrack, and it struck me because the soundtrack was much bigger than the film itself. They hated it because they basically reused all the special effects and set and even the early James Horner soundtrack for Roger Corman's 1980 film, Battle Beyond the Stars. They just kind of repurposed all the sets and the soundtrack and dumped it into this movie, which makes sense because of a lot of times the soundtrack it felt like it got shoehorned into this movie. A bunch of actors that I have no idea who they are. The main girl in the film, apparently she was big in soap operas in the 70s and 80s. It's about a little kid who sneaks aboard a spacecraft that's kidnapped or stolen by these space bandits. And the aliens, they're so low budget, they make the mask, but then they're wearing like blue latex gloves. It's just a definitively low-budget B movie, and it doesn't even have a Rotten Tomato critic average, but the audience score, with only 100 people reporting in, their review average is 21%, and the IMDb score is 4.5 out of 10. It is considered to be a space western, and it kind of is funny because I could see Spaceballs playing off of this because even though it's in outer space, they're drinking canned beer, they're wearing clothes that would have been regular street clothes in the late 70s and early 80s. It's just very cheesy. You could see, even though they're in outer space, they're just shooting in a regular manufacturing warehouse. The editing and camera shots are horrible. And this was actually Howard R. Cohen's first directed film, and Roger Corman actually even had to bring in an assistant to help him because he didn't know what he was doing. He had mostly been a writer up until that point based off of the information that I could find. It is a 2 out of 5, but I watched all 84 minutes of it because if you just wanted to find out what happened, it is incredibly low budget, and it shows. What did you think of this? You were the only kid that stuck around to watch this whole movie with me.
I watched 84 minutes of garbage. I rated this a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, so we're in agreement on that. Was there any redeeming part or any part that you enjoyed at all?
No, it was pure boring. Pure boringness.
What was bad about it? It just wasn't interesting?
What was bad about it? It was just like it was just like drinking a really, really boring drink, except in movie form.
Very, very good. I'm going to read the back of the box here just so we have some filler for content. On the distant planet of Procyon 3, at a time far into the future, 10-year-old Peter Tracton is innocently trying to catch a pesky space bug. Suddenly, The warehouse in which he is playing is being attacked by an outlaw space raider and his crew. The boy is then whisked off in an incredible adventure beyond his wildest dreams. A movie critic said that the boy's character was very creepy, and my wife commented on his haircut, which was not great.
That boy did not look 10 years old.
Vince Edwards, Ben Casey, MD, and Deal of the Century stars as Colonel C.W. Hawk, who discovers Peter hiding in the hold of the cargo ship that he and his raiders have just hijacked. When Hawk learns that Peter is the son of a high-level corporation executive, he decides to hold the youngster for ransom. However, at that moment, the corporation battleship begins to attack upon the fleeing spacecraft. Peter then risks his life to help her with the repair and enables the raiders to make a safe escape, so on and so forth. Under the guidance of legendary independent film producer Roger Coreman, whose own space sagas range from the campy War of the Satellites to the well-received 1980 film Battle Beyond the Stars that played off the movie Seventh Samurai, which I need to review. Blah, blah, blah. Not only are Space Raiders a fast-paced sci-fi adventure, it is also a delightful fantasy film to be enjoyed with the entire family. Why are they drinking canned beer in the distant future? And they even give some to the kid, because why not? Thanks for watching, folks. Space Raiders, worth a watch. It is one in the archives of bad B movies, but we should watch it because of Roger Coreman had a hand in it. Until next time, we'll see you then. Any final thoughts?
This movie is so bad.
There you go.